everyone, my name is Heidi and I'm coming to you from sunny Florida. As you can see, it's really not that sunny out today. It's kind of cloudy and windy, but it is generally a sunny state. Today is October 28th. It's a Monday and this is episode 59. If you are new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy this episode and thank you to all my returning viewers. If you'd like to find me other than YouTube, I'm on Instagram and Ravelry as Yarnit Heidi. And anything I talk about will be listed in the description box below. So as you can see, if you're new, I normally a podcast inside, but today it's going to be an outside episode because my neighbor is having a lot of work done and it's just going to be so noisy. But you're still going to hear some noise out here because it's windy. There's birds chirping all over the place. I hear cars zooming by close to a road that I'm by, and you might hear an airplane. Forgive me, I'm sorry, but it's better than hearing that drilling and that hammering inside. So, a lot has gone on since the last time I spoke with you guys. You'll have to excuse my hair blowing all over the place. It is windy here. So let's get moving. First, let's go to finished objects. Okay, the first finished object I have is a pair of fingerless gloves. These are them. These are called the Latvian braid mittens by Kath Christensen, and this I decided to do this pair. You see, you hear cars, sorry, some kind of motorcycle or car going fast. Anyway, so these we're gonna knit for my son, but I also wanted to do a new technique as a participation challenge with the Pigskin Party about trying a new technique. So these Latvian braid mittens have something called a Latvian braid right here, this green and yellow. It is a braid that you do onto your knitting. I've never done that before. It was quick. It was only a 3-row type of technique that I had to do particularly on these mittens. There's much more different ones, but I wanted to do this and try it, and I love the look. I'm not thrilled about the process. There is a lot of back and forth with the needles, so it is a little bit tedious as far as that goes, but for 3 rows I could handle anything. So anyway, the yarn is by Cascade Yarns, their Anchor Bay base. It is like a cotton and a wool blend. And the yellow, and that's the black, and the yellow and green is from my stash. I'm not sure, but I have to say this black yarn is like a DK weight, but the yellow and green was roasted and it worked out okay. So that is it. I had to go up a size 6. The recommended size needle was a 5. I checked my gauge. I had to go up a 6, no biggie. And I did I do these on TPNs? Yeah, I do. Usually fingerless gloves I do on double pointed needles. So the cuff I did for 15 rows. And then I went to the thumb gusset, and then 15 rows to do the, where did I do 15 rows? Before the ribbing of the, oh yeah. So after the thumb gusset, I did 15 rows up to this ribbing, and then I did some ribbing there, and I ended it. So I really love them. I'm going to send them off to my son in Portland. Very cool. And what I loved about this is using my stash yarn. So that's the Latvian braid mittens. And did I mention it was by Kath Christensen? That is the designer of those mittens. The next thing I finished, it's not here. I already donated to an organization called Hatsgiving, and it was called the Easiest Cabled Hat Ever. I'm going to insert a picture here. It was by Corey Eichelberger, also known as iRock Knits, and the yarn is beautiful by Lisa Souza. So deep down in stash. According to this, it was, according to the skein of yarn, it said that it was dyed January 17th, 2013. I bought it at Rhinebeck years ago, but I don't think over 10 years. I don't know. It could be, I'd say at least 6 or 7 years, so maybe. So the yarn is by Souza, pole wool / silk, and the color tone was olive tones, and the size that I made was for adult small, size 8, because this organization's mainly for children, like up to the age of 18 maybe, who are struggling, battling cancer. It's called Hatsgiving. And anyway, so it's for adults small, but it really can fit like a young adult or even younger. I'll show you a picture. So it has a cable look, but I didn't have to use a cable needle. It's just the way the stitches are made that it makes it look terrible. And a size 8. So it was a quick knit on that hat. Again, I will show you a picture here. And that is off to being donated when I went to Rhinebeck. The person that's helping out, volunteering for that organization, took it gladly. So that is all for my finished objects. Let's move on to works in progress. My works in progress, I have a half-finished project actually, and this is a sock which I absolutely love. This is called the Check the Box Socks by Knit and Kristen or Kristen Drucker, and the yarn is Stitching with Yarn. Fantastic. I love this colorway. So the colorway is called Football Season. So this Stitching with Yarn is a pigskin party sponsor. For those who don't know what pigskin is about, it is a make-along with a football theme, even though you don't have to like football, know about football. It's just the theme. And you could make anything, and if you use a sponsor, you get extra points. So anyway, this yarn, I love it. It's football season. It comes with is there a name for the colorway? I don't know if there is. For the different, for this colorway up here, this cranberry color or the main, it's just called Football Season, the whole kit and caboodle. I used a 1.25 millimeter needle, and I also did 2 circulars, my favorite way of knitting socks. So I did for the ribbing 15 rows, and then I did about 4 repeats. It's like a 12-row repeat, but I did 4 of them. For the leg, the designer recommended like 5, but I did 4 because I have a short leg. And then I did a slip stitch and gusset heel, and I did 42 rows for the foot, and then a rounded toe. So those things were primarily by the pattern instructions. And anything else I can tell you? Nope, but I love this colorway so much, and I love the way it looks. And if you look closely, there we go. You can see the textured pattern for this pattern. This calls out to me, not just football season, but Thanksgiving for sure. Like turkey and cranberry sauce. I absolutely loved knitting with this yarn. I've knit with Stitching with Yarn before. They have beautiful yarn to knit with. So again, information will be down below. So that is a half finished. Hopefully it'll be finished by the next time I podcast. I anticipate it. I already started the second one. The next one I have is a hat I wanted to make for Bill. He asked for one, and I kind of not swore, but was not interested in making another one of these because it's so much knitting. But I was going to Rhinebeck, and I said there's going to be, oh, excuse me, the wind, whoosh, and there's going to be a lot of talking, and I didn't want anything that I had to think about, so I cast it on another muscle burrow hat, which is basically a long tube, and you put one end to the other end, and it's like 2 hats in one, and it's like a double knit. So anyway, I started this for Bill. This is the Muscle Burrow by Isolde Teague. It's a very, very popular pattern because of the fact that you can knit a lot and not have to worry about anything. There's increases at the beginning, then it's knit, 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 and then there'll be decreases at the end. So anyway, the yarn that I used is actually a yarn I won at an event called Yarn Lounge. And I wanted to do something green, something that represented the Eagles, because Bill is a big football Eagles fan. So it was so good, I could go in my stash. I had 3 different colorways, and he picked this one, which was most representative of the Eagles. So the yarn is by Biddy Knits, and the colorway is Strawberry Fields. I don't know how, but that's what it is. And I'm knitting the adult medium for Bill, and a size 3 needle. And what else can I tell you about this? That's about it. So I'm putting along here. I'd say I didn't even measure it yet, but I'd say I have about I don't know, it's about 12, 13 inches. So I'm going to stop at like maybe 20. I don't know, before I start doing the decreases. Yeah, so that is the Muscle Burrow by Isolde Teague. So that will be done shortly. The next one is, again, a project I said I'm not going to do, but again, when we're talking and stuff like that, and I don't have to think, I started this because it's my favorite crochet blanket, my favorite crochet thing to do, and that is the Rainbow Ripple Baby Blanket. Let me see if I can get a better picture without it all over. Here we go. This is already using 1 skein of the Mandala, Lion Brand Mandala Baby. Anyway, the pattern is by Celeste Young, and the yarn again is by Lion Brand. The Mandala Baby colorway is, I think it's called Narnia. So I use a size H hook, and it's just keeps growing and growing. I was only going to do 1 skein, which I've pretty much done already, but then for pigskin, if I have a certain amount of points, it's a blitz and I get more points. So I said, okay, I'll use the other skein. It will just be a big baby blanket. Love this colorway and love how it's coming out. So, and this I'm going to donate to an organization too, because I already have so many baby blankets. So that is my crochet. The next thing I have is cross stitch. I think that's it for my works in progress. I mean, for my knitting and crochet, it is. The next thing is cross stitch I've been working on, and I am getting so far on it. Look how beautiful this is. This is Mount Hood in Portland, Oregon, where my son lives. And while I was there, I went to a cross stitch shop, and I wanted something local, and this is it. Mount Hood is a beautiful mountain. You can see off the parkway, off neighborhoods. It's just eye candy. It is a beautiful view to see. A beautiful landscape, beautiful milestone, whatever you want to call it. So I got the pattern or the chart and had to get it up at their local cross stitch shop called Acorn and Threads, I think it is. Beautiful store with lots of stuff. So she kitted it up for me, and I did all of the mountain. I still have it in the hook, and down here I only have this section to do, and I am done. I'll take it to the framer. So it's by Doherty Designs. I'm using like a 28 count linen white because I wanted to leave parts of the mountain white, so I stuck with white. And I'm just using DMC floss that they put together for the colors of all this. I love it. It is so beautiful. I love how the shadow of the mountain is down here. It is fun, and I'm almost done. I do sections at a time so I don't get so crazy and confused. So that is my cross stitch, and then I have a fully finished cross stitch. I know I showed it when I was done, but now I had it fully finished at a finisher. Harvest Blessing, and what I stitched all this, but I'm not good at putting it together with this cording and putting the fabric on the back. So I sent it to my local needlework shop called the Cross Stitch Cupboard, and she has a girl there that finishes these things for me, the edging, the handle, and they even put this little charm that says 2024. I normally write something like Made with Love or Love Mommy or whoever. or to whoever it is. And I usually put the date, but now I just have to put love mommy because I'm giving it to my son and his wife. So that is Harvest Blessings. Oh, by the way, the chart is from Brenda Gervais, who designed this chart. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to give it to my son and daughter-in-law on Thanksgiving. So that is it for my works in progress. Let's move on to acquisitions. Okay, acquisitions. Let me just get my water. I'm sorry, reaching over, but I'm just getting dry. I only have a couple of acquisitions, and next month I'll probably have less because I did enough damage in Rhinebeck. So I watch a podcast. I think it's Ambi Marie Knits podcast. I think that's the name of the podcast. Go check her out. She does all about her content, and she also sells bags, and she was having a sale, so I had to get one. This one, and I love this Halloween bag with the pumpkins and the ghosts, and it's a box bottom, and inside, I didn't notice it until like yesterday when I was prepping for this. It has this little pocket with the same fabric as the outside. I love it. And a black lining, as you can see, and that little pocket. Yeah, so that's by Ambi Marie Knits. I love it. It has a little handle here. It is a drawstring. I now prefer drawstrings because my yarn gets caught in those zipper ones. Even though I have plenty of zipper bags, they do get caught. Yeah, so I love this bag. So I don't, Halloween is almost here, so I'll just put whatever I have in now and knit. Yeah, so that's by Ambi Marie Knits. Then the other thing I got in the mail, oh my gosh, I wanted to do the collaboration between, hopefully I can say it right, Coven Collective and Knitting Natty are doing a collaboration. Knitting Natty from the Love and Stitches podcast designed a sock pattern. I think they're called Magic Winter Socks. I'm not exactly sure. I'll put it down below. And then Coven Collective made up the yarn for it to go with it, and also a bag. And anyway, I didn't get the bag. Coven Collective had a choice of getting the bag or not. I didn't want the bag. I have so many bags, and I just bought bags. So I opted not for the bags, but I opted for the other kit was the yarn and the beads and whatnot. So I have to show you the yarn for the magic socks. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. Oh my gosh. I loved it when I saw it, on YouTube or whatever, but in person, it is shabam. It is beautiful. So I'm going to do this. She made this, particularly for Sockmas, which she's having this year. I don't know when it starts. Probably the weekend of Thanksgiving it starts. So I'll start that around then to participate in Sockmas. And look at the beautiful either stitch marker or progress keeper of a snowflake. Love that. That got included with this sock set. And then in here, in the pattern, you get to use beads. I love knitting with beads. I love beads in general. So a little thing of beads, she packaged it so cutely to put onto the Winter Magic socks. Yeah, so I'm excited to start that. Right now it's going to have to stay, in my stash until it's ready to start. So this is Winter Magic, the sock set, but the minis that it comes with are called Fractal and Deep Freeze, and the sock is Spellbound Sock, but the whole thing is called Winter Magic. So I can't wait to start that and wind it up. So I got time to over it. And then the next thing I want to tell you about is, because I am obsessed with beads, whether it's with knitting or with crocheting or to make stitch markers or progress keepers. I've been making a lot, so I'm going to put some of these things on Etsy and see how it does. It's really for the fun of it. I have so many, I don't know what to do with them. But the latest things that I've been doing is making these earrings. these granny square earrings out of crocheting, and I put a bead on it and the finding, and I'm wearing a pair now, these purple ones, and I'm gonna have white ones, have blue, and have pink ones. So I love making them, anything with beads. I keep going and buying more and more beads. So that is my latest obsession, is beading and anything with beads, actually. So anyway, so that is it for my acquisitions. Let's move on to life adventures. So a lot has happened with my life. The first big thing, let me see if I could rehash some of this stuff that I've done. Okay, I went to Rhinebeck for the first time in like maybe 6 years, and how I missed it. I love the vibe of Rhinebeck. I love the fall foliage up in New York. I miss that terribly. It makes you feel good. It's like eye candy seeing that stuff. So I went with my Floridian friends, and then I met up with in a house with other members of the Love and Stitches that I belong to. So we all met in the house. But the four of us went on a plane, and we landed in Newark Airport. And while we were in the New Jersey area, because Newark Airport is in New Jersey, we said, let's go to a yarn shop, which is about 20-25 minutes away, that I've never been to, called Narnia in Montclair, New Jersey. So since we were going there, we knew other members of the Love and Stitches that were on their way up to Rhinebeck, and they said, hey, why don't we all meet at Narnia? So, and we did. We made a whole bunch. I don't know if I have a picture. If I can, I'll put it in here. We all met for lunch. There was about, 12 to 14 of us met at Narnia, and we had lunch there, and I got to shop a little bit in Narnia. I bought some buttons, and that was it. So that was a lot of fun. Then we parted ways there. Everybody was going towards Rhinebeck or wherever they were going. But I said, you know what? On the way to Rhinebeck area, where our Airbnb, which was about a half an hour from Rhinebeck, I said, let's stop at a yarn shop that I knew of, and also it's big during Rhinebeck, the Perfect Blend Yarn and Tea Shop. And I haven't been there again in like probably 7 years. So anyway, I said, let's go on a Thursday, because Friday it is going to be a zoo there, because a lot of events were happening Friday in Saugerties. So we went to the Perfect Blend, and believe me, it was pretty crowded there too, but not as bad as it was going to be on that Friday. So we went in there, and then we met some of our roomies at the Perfect Blend Yarn and Tea Shop. So we hung around a little bit in there, and then we headed off to our Airbnb in a place called Rosendale, New York, which is about 20 minutes out of Rhinebeck. I'm sorry if I'm squinting. The sun just started to come this way. Let me see if I can move a little bit. Okay, a little bit better. So we met up at a house, a big house that accommodated 8 of us, which was great. So then we met up with everybody. We exchanged house gifts, and that was a lot of fun. Then the next day, we went to 2 events that I've never been to. I've gone to Rhinebeck numerous times, but I never went to Cake Palooza or Indian Tangled. And I'm not sure how old those events are, but maybe when I was in New York, they weren't even there. I don't know how old those events are, but I don't think they were there when I lived in most of the time in New York. So Cake Palooza was a lot of fun. I got to wear my Korean poncho. Maybe I'll show you a picture. Who was designed by Amy Palco, but the yarn I used was my Advent from Chelsea Lux. It was the one that was called, I think, Christmas in New York. Anyway, she was going to be at Cake Palooza, so that was the first thing when they opened it up. That was the first place I went. I zoomed in. I got a selfie with Christina, who is the designer of and the hand dyer of. Oh, geez, can you hear that? Anyway, designer of the Christmas Advent that I wore. So I got to take a picture of her. I'm going to put this on pause while they do their thing in the landscaping. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. Today, for some reason, from the gods above, does not want me to podcast. So back to Cake Palooza. So I got to meet Christina from Chelsea Lux, take a picture, and then a lot of us made the Korean poncho, and we were all wearing it that day. I think we all took a picture. If I can, I wasn't taking a lot of pictures, so I was just embracing the moment. So I will post whatever I can of us wearing the Korean poncho. So then right across from Chelsea Lux was Tanny Casey, and I've never bought one of her bags, so I had to get one of those. And there were so many different vendors that of people I've heard about and that I wanted to visit. Black Pearl Magic was there. Vita Lifestyle was there. Super Glow. There were so many different vendors at this particular event that I got to see. I didn't get to see everything. We only had a 2-hour time slot. So, which is kind of good because I would have spent a lot more. I bought an stitch marker advent, which I really have no business buying. I have so many stitch markers, but hey, what's another one into the mix? So I bought that. Excuse me. So, yeah, so that was a big hit. So then we had lunch. I don't know what we did for lunch. I don't even remember what we did, to be honest with you. Oh, we ate lunch at the next event, which was Indian Tangled. So Indian Tangled, again, never been there before. That was like a whole different vibe. More out in the open, like on the grounds, open grounds. And what was great about that is, again, indie dyes that I've never tried before. It was bigger than cake wool, more spread open. My friend from New York happened to be volunteering for the registration, so I got to see her when I checked in. And yeah, so again, I didn't buy that much at Indian Untangled. I ended up buying more at Cake Palooza, but I did buy a gorgeous skein from Treehouse Knits. I wish I had it with me, but of course I'm outside. I couldn't bring everything possible out here. So I bought a beautiful skein from Treehouse Knits. I could not walk away without getting this one. So that was that. I'm going to have to pause again. That weed whack, I feel like weed whacking him. I'll be back. Okay, let's try to get through this with all this commotion here. So that was in the Entangled. Then we went back. What did we do for... Oh, then after that, we went to, I think it's called the Yarn Farm, because Ruby and Roses was going to be there. And my friend Stephanie, I think she did her poncho out of Ruby and Roses. So we went there and we saw Addie. I bought a beautiful matching skeins of her yarn there. Gorgeous, a mohair and oh no, not mohair, sorry, which I've never used before, and a regular, I think non-superwash skein of yarn from her. So I got that from Ruby Roses. We hung out there, and then we ate at a local place, some kind of taco place. So that was the whole day. It was a big day. I'm moving over because of the sun. So then, after dinner, we went back to our house. We all showed our acquisitions, and I'm going to post a picture of of the whole table of everybody's stuff. Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe it. So that was that was a fun-filled day. The next day, Rhinebeck, the big event everybody's been waiting to go to. So got up early enough, got there at a reasonable time, walked around, looked a little. The first thing I wanted to do is, because we got there at like 10:30, and there was no big lines, and I heard about the Brussels sprouts. You have to get them. So the line, I was behind maybe 5 people, which was like unbelievably empty. So I got the Brussels sprouts and I shared them, and they were good, but my stomach did not like them. So I had that and shared them, and then we went to different places, and then floated around a little bit, and then we were having a meetup with the Love and Stitches members at one of the tents there. So that was a lot of fun. We got to not only Natalie from Love and Stitches podcast and the membership was there, but a lot of the members that I've seen on Zoom but never met in real life. So that was a lot of fun, hanging out with them. And then afterwards, there was also a meetup with Laura Nelkin and Patty Lyons, so I stayed around for that a little bit. And then we went back. We left there at like 4:45. It ends at 5. The traffic was horrendous. Normally it takes about 35 minutes to back to our Airbnb. It took us almost 2 hours. I was gonna explode. One, I didn't want to drive back in the dark with because it now gets dark early. I didn't want to get back in driving those country roads. It's like unbelievable. So we got back just when it got dark, and we were pretty exhausted at that point. Just knit a little bit, went to bed. The next day, Sunday, I went a little bit early because I wanted to get back earlier. So we did get back earlier. Oh, stupid lawn guy. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm back. Would you believe there were 3 ride-on landscapers on their mowers, 3 of them and 2 weed whackers. There was no way I could get through this while they were doing their thing. So I'm back. Hopefully I can get done with this before they start up again. I hear the weed whack in the background, but I can't stay here all day. So anyway, back to Rhinebeck. So Saturday was a fun-filled day, meeting all those members and doing a little shopping, but we saved the shopping for Sunday. Sunday, I met up with some of my New York friends. I said, let's meet for a little bit. And so I met up with girls that I used to, pal around, my close friends back in New York, and we had a good time. And then I said, you know what? I want to get out of Rhinebeck earlier, go back to the Airbnb, just knit and enjoy being around the ambience of the area. It was so beautiful, that area. I'm going to have a little bit of a slideshow at the end. You can see of all the different events I did and the people I was with, and it's just small. I didn't do a lot of pictures. So yeah, so then we went back, we all hung out. Our friend Beth, she made taco soup for all of us. We had a nice dinner together. That was really a nice moment, hanging out with these girls that I just knew from Zoom and not even met in real life until this weekend. And then the next morning we packed up and we parted ways and we came home, and that was it. But that didn't end for me. The following weekend, me and Bill went out to the Keys in Florida Keys, Key Largo. We were supposed to go a few weeks before, but Hurricane Milton hit. They wasn't affected that bad, but still, the traffic, the cloudiness, the lingering rain, it wasn't worth it. So we waited until this weekend, and it was beautiful. It was relaxing for us, and believe me, I needed relaxation after the Rhinebeck weekend. So we went kayaking. I'll show some pictures too. We went on a tiki bar boat. We went out to a restaurant that was a seafood restaurant. That was phenomenal. We went by the water. The place was on the water, so we walked down to the dock there and hung out and watched beautiful sunsets. The weed whack is starting up again. I'm just going to try to get through this. So that was it. We had a beautiful weekend together. Books, TV, books, I'm still reading the same one. I won't get to that. But baseball, Yankees are in the World Series. That's the good news. The bad news is they're not doing well. So that's it for the baseball. And the other show that I watched that I love, but I was waiting to watch it when we got on the plane, was called The Midwife. I love that show. It always makes me feel good at the end. It always has a good story. It's about love and being together. Whether you have family there or not, everybody's still part of the same family, even though it might not be biological. But it's just a beautiful story. I just love every episode. I've never watched an episode and said, I always loved all of them. So that's it, folks. Finally got through this with noise, without noise. I'm sorry, I apologize. That's life here this Monday. Not meant to be, but here we are. So thank you again for watching. If you like what you see, I hope you'll consider subscribing and liking, and we can talk next time. And again, as always, I wish you love and peace in your life, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
You are sadness.